putting the fight in faster than light. Welcome to Cosmopunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first inaugural, the Leica 7 team answer a bunch of your questions for no reason. Extra content special.
Pretty steak as that was, RJ. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
We're not using that.
Why not?
Oh,
no,
we're
do it
not.
properly. Yeah.
Go on, do it.
Yeah, come on, RJ.
Come on.
Well,
Dan,
I ad-lib.
stop it.
I've already forgotten what I said. I ad-lib everything.
Welcome to the first inaugural Leica crew QnA.
None of this is...
We all know my diction is horrid and my accent's strong.
Hey guys, and welcome to the first Cosmopunk Q&A. We've now hit we've hit like 14 episodes, and we thought we'd open ourselves up to you guys to ask some questions about how things are going, the characters, the world we built, and you didn't disappoint. We've got plenty to go through. I'm here with myself, of course, with Pan. I'm here with Cypher, RJ,
Hello.
and Ty. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
And we're here to answer your burning questions about Cosmopunk. So, without further ado, we're going to just jump straight into it. Cypher's the question master, so let's go. What's the first question?
Burning questions.
Burning questions.
Lightly smouldering questions.
Yes.
Slightly affame questions.
Tepid questions.
All right. First lukewarm question. How did you all meet, and what made you start a podcast?
So in real life.
Yeah, in real life, IRL.
I think I met you, Cypher, because I saw your art. And I was like, that's cool
Yes.
art, dude.
my scribbles on Fur Affinity, and you were like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was your Heart and Crown one, I think.
Oh, yeah, the pixel stuff.
Mm.
Mm.
And I was like, I might have Amiga games, so I had to get in contact.
I was out window shopping and then I got black bagged and I woke up in a room and they've kept me here ever since. Send help.
Oh, you too.
You still remember that? You should still remember that. The drugs aren't working, Pan.
No more drugs.
Hit him again.
Please, no more kicking.
How did you two meet? You two were the longest, right?
Oh God, Cypher and I met on a forum, I think, in the crazy halcyon days of 2003, 2?
Yeah, 2003.
Yeah.
It was a lifetime ago.
God.
But,
Yeah.
the world was a different place back then. But and I knew Ty was into D&D stuff. And one day Pan was like, oh, hey, we're doing this thing called Starfinder with a few friends. Do you want to join in? And we did this sort of throwaway session together. And I thought, hey, I think Ty would really like this. And so I invited him along. And here we are, all four of us.
Yeah, it was, what was it called? Eclipse Phase, right? It was you,
That was
me,
it,
and
yeah.
Ryan.
That was it.
And I can't remember. I think RJ played a cop who really liked owning a boat.
Yeah, vaguely. I think it was a private investigator, sorry. It was a private investigator that, for some reason, I gave them an obsession with motorboats.
Just really liked having a boat.
I don't
Just
know
kept
why,
mentioning
because
to us as well in
in
game
real
that
life-
he had a boat.
In real life, I actually hate sailing and all forms of boating. And yet, I decided I'm going to live out this person's boat fantasies. And they survived to the end of the campaign. So.
Yes.
There's a surprising amount of self-torment in that, RJ.
Yeah. So I played a hacker, I think, who shagged the dragonfly.
That never happened, although you
I
really
feel
kept
like-
trying to push it. But I spoke to the dragonfly that was actually somebody's mind trapped inside a robot dragonfly or something.
Yeah, she had like a drone that she was like piloting. So the dragonfly was technically her, and I think
Yeah.
we definitely just had like previous relationships. So
Yeah. In
dragonfly.
essence, my character totally banged a robot dragonfly.
I think I was a walking tank.
Yeah, you were a
Yeah,
walking tank
you
with
were-
a top hat, I seem to remember.
Yes, yeah, really liked hats.
Yeah.
Which seems to be a thing for me. Just
So that
like
seems to be
enjoying clothing.
Yeah, I think that was like a seed of Baphomet in that that robot.
Yeah,
spider.
yeah.
which means that Baphomet's going to go mad and betray us all at some point.
Neither way man betrayed you guys.
I mean,
You got infected with something and then tried to kill us all.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't my fault. That was nanobots making me try and kill you all. But that's another time. That's another time.
Yeah.
Doubt.
How did I meet you, RJ?
Was fucked if I know.
I think you just told me.
Probably London Farmy.
Yeah, maybe.
Almost certainly London for me. It's probably like, this person seems cool. Hi, I'm RJ.
I always
And
thought you
then-
found him out in your trash one day, like a
That sounds
raccoon.
also more likely, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's just
most
eating
people find me in the
little
trash.
parts. So it's who's that? And then I'll just run away.
He's probably stealing a microphone or something.
Skitters away.
Like a small trash goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably like one of them for me since we met and just got chatting there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one
And
day,
then you're-
we
you're-
want
One day
to-
Pan messaged me like, I'm starting a like D&D group and I've already asked all the cool people, so do you want to come too? And I was like,
Yeah, I was running
Yeah,
out
sure.
really. Yeah.
yeah.
Trying to fill the diversity quota.
and then lockdown hit, and we were all trapped together for a whole year.
Yeah.
And thus this
Yeah.
podcast was born.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm really glad because during lockdown, we've been playing, once a week, give or take, every now and then, up until lockdown hit. And then when lockdown hit, we were all like, do you guys want to play like twice a week? And then it was, do you guys want to make a podcast? Because I have to record these things because I don't remember notes.
Yeah, well, we started off just recording them for just for
Shits and gigs.
memory's
Well,
sake.
yeah, for reference
Yeah.
material, wasn't it? I mean,
Oh, you guys did. I'd take notes like a normal person.
yeah.
Yeah, you
well,
take a lot of notes. No, you take notes like a not
I-
normal person, dude.
I'd take an adequate number of notes.
You take an adequate number of notes for 5 people.
well, that's because RJ moonlights as a PI, so he's got to write notes down whenever he's investigating people.
Can you
And it's
imagine
just carried
RJ
over-
as a private investigator?
I would be an
that's why I say,
amazing
like-
private investigator.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
it
very
now.
good at finding shit,
It's got
except
like
for the
a-
guy that hit my car who has been elusive.
Yeah, the one crime that happened to you, you
Yeah.
haven't solved it. So,
Yeah.
alright.
No.
I can see him now in his trilby and his like long raincoat sort of thing.
Oh, God.
Mm.
Well, maybe the guy that hit RJ's car is like his Moriarty. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
his arch nemesis.
Yes,
I'll get that fucker one day.
One day.
yes.
So yeah, that's how we all met. And got
Mhm.
together and played, and that's it. Cool. What's the next question?
Alrighty, so yeah, that was question 1. Question number 2. Were there any adventures before the podcast started?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh boy.
I mean, we make it sound as like a bunch that happened, but we did the beginning of Against the Aeon Throne,
Yep.
which actually planted the seed for Cosmopunk because we got to the point where we had met a Starfinder who had been like, "We'd like to hire you," and none of us liked them.
Yeah.
Which-
We're just like,
Yeah.
the Starfinder Sander, you kind of seems like a bunch of stuffy jerks. We're going to
Yeah.
do our own thing with.
It was the
dickery.
equivalent of like the Federation from Star Trek turning up and saying, "Hey, we like the cut of your jib. Would you like to join us?" And everyone just collectively like, "No."
Yeah, we were like, "Nah, you're right."
Yeah.
So we
in the
turned up
background.
back in the Starfinder Society and went to live on Outpost Shed.
Yes, and there we we lived a fruitless life of bombing around space, doing odd jobs,
Yeah.
and getting into terrifying adventures.
To use a sci-fi analogy, I guess it was kind of a bit like Firefly. Not too similar to that, but just doing random tasks to earn a living to survive in.
To be honest, I've barely watched any Firefly.
Uh,
I
I'm
know
not
it's
going to
like-
tell you to watch it because I hate people doing that.
I watched Serenity. And I thought, I got the general idea.
That's all you
Yeah,
need,
sorta.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Serenity.
Yeah.
some people in space, they do a job to survive. One of them's a crazy girl who can move shit with their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of Against the Aeon Throne, and then we kind of abandoned that halfway through.
Yeah. I mean, the Starfinder Society is probably going to turn up again at some point.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh boy, I am excited to meet them again.
I mean, to be fair, we only met one member, and she was
Yeah.
really stuffy, and also
And-
being tortured when we met her, so it wasn't exactly the best introduction.
Yeah. no.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll turn up again. Obviously, Starfinder as a game has Starfinders all over the place, so I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll meet like some cool ones sometime or something.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to end up really joining Starfinders. I figure we'll just be like independent contractors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the independence that we have. It gives us a lot more freedom as games masters and players to build our own world.
Yeah.
yeah,
around
write our own
Starfinder.
stories, make our own
Operate.
characters. and stuff.
In the murky grey area.
I do.
That's
think-
it though. There are some nice APs that I would like to look at sometime, but not really for these characters. I don't think that any of them really would react well to authority.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of the thing that links all of our characters together, isn't it? Is that we're all kind of I don't want to say
Outcasts.
misfits, but
Outcasts.
but it's like people that have been disenfranchised or betrayed in some way,
So you're
Yeah.
saying we're a bunch of
or
fun.
the people around them.
That's
Is it-
perhaps a little
actually, has
too
Radar
close.
been betrayed?
He's
Uh,
not.
Only by time.
Yeah, he's been dealt a shitty hand by the hand of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Has he been betrayed in a non-abstract way?
I don't think so
Yet.
yet.
I mean, what?
Yeah, it's
I don't know. I don't want to.
Wow.
There's been some stuff we can't really say right now because spoilers for future episodes.
that's
Yeah.
going to come up a lot in this QA session, I think. 'cause a lot
Yeah, it is.
Also, being the
Spoiler.
incredibly anal person that I am, I've gone back through my notes to the Eclipse phase era and found out the names of our characters from then.
Oh my
brilliant.
god!
Sai
I
was Chi, Pan was Amal, and I was playing Savafa.
Oh yeah, Amal, the Eastern
Oh, yeah.
European Twilight fan tank mech.
So, getting back onto the question that was asked, were there adventures before the podcast
Yeah.
starts?
I mean, actual reason going back through my notes was to try and see if I can do a whistle-stop recap of...
Well, I don't think this is the place.
What I
for that, James.
will say for that is that we do already have the recording that we did in character where we explain some backstory, so you can actually
Yeah,
find
that's
that
the
on
point,
the,
yeah.
if you want to hear that, guy, you got the Patreon. I'll leave it up on there. Enjoy.
Yeah.
So,
But after Aeon Throne, there was one that was unrecorded, sadly, that Ty ran called Kronos, and that's where a lot of the backstory stuff that comes into play later on in Engines of Hatred.
I call it the setup for Engines of Hatred. There's a lot of callback in Engines of Hatred to Kronos, which sadly we didn't record for a number of reasons. One of which was we just weren't doing it at the time, and then when we tried doing it in character in a public venue, and we just had a lot of other people's conversations.
I don't mind being character in public. I think it was just mostly that we couldn't record because RJ's mic was shit.
Well,
no, because we were in a small venue next to a bunch of the world's loudest children.
And you'd found a microphone in a dumpster.
Yeah, it wasn't even in a dumpster. That was just my MacBook microphone doing its best against incredible odds.
Well,
you should see if you can find it and dig it out. Maybe it's
in the Telegram chat.
Oh,
every time I post something in the Telegram chat, and then that ends
in a few minutes.
That recording ends. It goes back to playing that. I've heard Attention Scurvy Space Pirates of the Leica 7, which is how it starts, with people talking in the background. So many times they're oh fuck's sake, it starts.
Is that how it starts?
Yep, it starts with Attention Scurvy Space Pirates of the Leica 7. I don't know how it continues from that because I was paused it at that point because it's not what I'm wanting to listen to.
Well, that might be worth shipping it off to our technical crew at some point to see if that could be salvaged.
You can salvage it by going back in time and executing those children.
We do a lot of time travel.
I did that for a moment though. I just came back to executing children, and I feel like I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, so just quickly, yes, there was one called Kronos. It was a lot of setup for Engines of Hatred. It set up one of the big bads I was going to reuse, which was Logos, which was a strange deity created in some spoiler-ridden story that I'm sure will come up again at some point.
Well, it's the thing that when you listen to Hydrophobia, one of the first things that I've talked about is how we'd fought space gods and blah blah. And that's what he's referring to.
Yes, a multi-dimensional demon god. That's Logos, and that was literally the campaign we ran straight after Kronos. And when we coincidentally started recording,
he was fleshy and wiry all at once.
So yeah, you've got the beginning of Against the Throne. You've got Kronos. You do technically have you have the Crash the Party as well.
Oh yeah, but
oh shit.
That's the sort of the bit of backstory that we also ran briefly a separate campaign using entirely different characters set in the same universe, which became a lot of backstory exposition for Bath, which we did record. I think
it is recorded. It is, again, the quality isn't great, so again, probably just end up shifting it onto the Patreon or something.
Yeah.
You guys can
I
hear
want
that.
to see a crow person brain a guard over the head with a circuit board.
Yeah, it was it was a lot of fun. It was a very different kind of character setup and campaign to our normal stuff. I think we did it in 3 sessions, 4.
It definitely wasn't a long campaign.
It was short and sweet, which is how I like it.
Yeah.
But so there was Against the Unthrone, Kronos, and then Crash the Party, and then Crash the Party takes place in the past, so we then went back to the future or the present, which is the future for Hydrophobia. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. But Crash the Party was really Bath's backstory that none of the characters that we're currently playing have experienced yet.
No, not yet. But don't worry. Don't if you guys are sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm never going to find out about Beth and what shoe size she is. Don't worry, that'll all come later. You can send me shoes in Beth size. That's fine.
We know what shoe size Beth is. Tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
Tiny little bean feet.
Right.
Yep.
We've only got a limited amount of time and a bunch of questions, so
All right.
We're good at rambling incoherently.
yeah.
So
I had a whole campaign out of rambling incoherently.
So let's move on. Question number 3: how did the characters all meet?
Now this is an easy one to answer because they didn't all meet at the same time. There's like a whole timeline of. I suppose we could, if I do how V met Ryder, then Ryder does how Ryder and V met Radar, and then Radar does how
that's
Ryder
nice.
V and Radar met Bath.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure is the order it happens in.
I'm going to be really kind of dumb here and just quickly ask Pan, how did we meet Bath again? Did we just find her floating in space? That can't be right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's fuck that order then.
Yeah, but good call. Thanks.
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to like get it wrong when we did the actual take.
Did not know this is live. We have 100 listeners right now.
Oh, hey guys.
Okay, so without going into it too much, V used to work for a company of what's the? Are we allowed to swear in this?
Ship builders?
We swear like all the time.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
the
fair enough.
time.
Yeah, fuck it. Go
So,
on.
whistle stop tour of V's backstory, starting from about when they start to get. In fact, let me just do the whole thing again. V used to work. I don't have my notes. This is what happens. V used to work for a company called Yuasa Drive Yards that was a secret skunkworks type facility for a corporation. Some shit went down, and the corporation decided that it didn't look very good having this thing on the books that was doing a lot of illegal stuff, and just nuked the entire base with everyone inside it just to hide all the evidence.
Bastards.
V survived through the sheer power of like being pissed off at a Vesk, along with a couple of other survivors. Decided to escape the facility and get their revenge by taking bits out of the ships that they'd been building at the facility, sticking them all together to make one sort of functional ship, which became the Leica 7. Flying that out of there, some stuff happened. V made a lot of morally dubious decisions and kind of ostracized herself. I know, it never happens.
Didn't see
It's
that
like
coming.
the first and only time that V's ever done anything morally or ethically dubious. And yet, so V did some ... questionable things. It kind of ostracized them from the rest of the team that they'd survived with, and that's why V doesn't really have contact with them anymore. But it resulted in V being left alone with the Leica that they'd built. They were pissing about in space, just doing scraps and odd jobs and salvage for money and things like that, when they were captured by an Aslanti vessel. For those who aren't too familiar with that, Aslanti are basically the space Nazis of Starfinder.
They're the bad guys.
They are
Super bads.
They are the Commodore Garden assholes of Starfinder. So V's ship was captured by a larger Aslanti vessel. V was imprisoned for the crime of having an unregistered vessel and being someone who's supposed to be dead. Gets chucked in jail, finds a small Isoki with like a massive head wound in the jail cell with them, gains their trust. Together they break.
Could you? I'm going to have to cut this.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying to think. What point do I hand over to Cypher? Because
Just there.
right there. And then they met Ryder in jail. There you go.
Okay, so yeah, and then Ryder and V escape through a series of hijinks, as they do. They sort of buddy up on Leica 7. Then it's time for Ryder to gain V's trust and say, hey, I know how to fly a ship. Do you want to go down and do engineering stuff? Because that's where your heart lies. They bond around space for a bit, watching anime and collecting scrap for money.
Sorry, watching anime.
What?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's space. What else are you going to do?
Watching
Oh, we
Godzilla
do.
movies.
I don't know if anybody else has it in their games, but in our homebrew world, anime still exists, and it's
Yeah, and so does
One of-
Godzilla.
One of the
Why don't
universal
introduce
constants is
V to
anime
Godzilla?
and Godzilla. Yeah.
Right.
And that's why V's a Godzilla fanatic.
That's one of the things that will come up a lot in our campaign, is that we made a few changes to the canon here and there just to suit our needs. But
Because it's funny.
Because it's funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, they collected scrap for a bit, using Ryder's stealth ability to sneak into places they weren't meant to get to collect rarer scrap. Upon which they stumbled across something that maybe they weren't meant to find, which was a small capsule containing an upright coyote that had some things attached to them.
2/3 of a coyote, sir.
Yes, upon breaking open the capsule, there was a small robotic explosion, upon which loads of limbs and tendrils came out of the capsule. After a bit of restraint, Ryder and V decided, okay, this is a person in here. This is something worth saving. And V did a bit of engineering on them, a bit of tinkering, and managed to stabilize them. And that person who came out of that was Radar.
Yeah. Also, I think V's first reaction was "fuck this," vent it into space. But Ryder was the one that persuaded them. Probably there's someone living in there, and it'd be a dick move to vent them back into space. We should probably try and save their life.
Yes,
we know how much you hate venting things into space. You know,
I hate having my things vented in space. Glare's baffling.
I'm not saying anything.
So yeah,
and that's how we got our pet coyote.
I'm not a pet. What the fuck?
Go on.
I'm sorry. I am bewildered and baffled that you would use such language, good sir. Anyway,
Go on.
From there, Radar becomes part of the crew because ran out of time. First people to actually help him. Kind of adopted them as a family because coyotes are gregarious. But then a couple of years after that, how long was it? It was like 4 years after that or something.
I think it was 2 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the crew of the Leica are continuing their salvaging shenanigans in space, and they come across the second member of the crew to be found floating in the void, which is, it's like a box, I think, and inside was Baphomet.
Bath, through a series of adventures of these characters we mentioned before from Crash the Party, ends up vented into space, and is left there. I think she floats around there for, I think we said it was like, what, a year, 2 years? In and out. She's alone for all that time until the crew kind of find her because they are doing their salvaging thing. They come across her after getting a mysterious signal, and she becomes the captain because she's the only one that's good at talking to people that aren't other crew members. So it's not so much a case of like she's the best on the ship. She just happens to be the best at not getting shot at by asking people nicely. So her job is mostly just like mouthpiece, which is fine by her.
Well, she's clearly the face of the party, isn't she? I mean,
we also made her captain. Nobody remembers why or how, but
I literally just said why. Yeah.
She's got the biggest hat.
That's true. She has a lot of hats.
Yep. And yeah, that's how we all met.
Yeah.
And here
in character.
In character, yeah. So yeah, next question. What influences did you pick when making your characters?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, this is...
mine's easy. Mine's pretty much any anime girl that does the oh ho ho laugh. Like if you see any show where the character does the oh ho ho laugh, I love that shit. It's my favorite.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you know, when they put the palm up to the face and they do the
yeah, we've done this before.
Back. We've had this conversation before
because it inevitably degenerates into talking about
what happens.
I think
we've definitely done this before because this always generates us talking about like the anime trope of running with toast in your mouth, and it's like I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't watch as much anime as Ryder.
Maybe you need to train better for your character.
Maybe. Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, the main influence I think is Biko from Project Echo, who is I think she's this rich, like really ladylike character, but she's also got this incredible mean streak, and is a genius with a mech suit. She's just like incredibly petty, which I really like. So that's my main influence. Also, she also has purple hair, which I also like.
Cool.
RJ, do you want to do yours?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's kind of like a mashup of. Okay, everyone's seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Yep.
Yes.
If Milo was a lot more
Dinosaur.
morally dubious and also an asshole, it's like the whole someone who's very clever but not very smart.
Yeah, that sounds like
Like the whole,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole sort of like they can completely disassemble and reassemble a starship, but they'll also make stupid social faux pas,
And also
or just
lick
make
icicles.
stupid, impulsive decisions, or develop an obsession with like 80s human era vans.
Or just technology in general. I think that's the entire aesthetic of Leica 7.
Yeah. RJ is the ship's. V is the ship's technophile by
Yes.
Analog
a large margin.
file, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And of course, the setting for Cosmopunk is it's like future tech 1970s, but Soviet. So
Yeah.
everything's chunkier than it needs to be. And I think V just loves that style. That's what I got anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So,
Trying to do me. Okay. Influences for Ryder. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
There's a lot. No, not Jesus. Not Lord and Savior Jesus. There's a lot of Lister from Red Dwarf in her, I think.
Yeah.
She's quite punky, anti-authoritarian, but also she's got a useful streak to her, because I wanted someone who would be useful in terms of a starship, and I thought, what can I do that's technologically sound? And I like the idea of a character that dealt with the water systems on a ship, like crawling around the pipes and fixing things in various vents. I thought an otter would be perfect for that. Are there any otter races in Starfinder, Pan? No, there's rats.
Yeah, at the time when we started the game,
This goes directly into our next question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
This up
We'll
by-
afterwards.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a specific rider question. Yeah.
But yeah, that's so she's a David Lister crossed with a ninja, essentially.
Ninja Lister.
You know
Very
who I always got
arcane.
from Ryder? Rocket Raccoon.
A little bit of Rocket Raccoon in there as well.
Yeah. Maybe Rocket
And not
had
just
like
'cause they're small and
a
furry.
softer daughter.
It's like Rocket Raccoon without the kleptomania.
Yeah, essentially.
I don't know about without the kleptomania. Definitely
Restrained kleptomania.
Hey, I don't steal things.
Where's
You can
Radar's
listen to episode 13 if you want to hear if I'm right or Cypher's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, what about you?
Oh, God. Radar is basically all of my favorite things just horribly mashed together. So there's a bit of like anime influences in there. There's a lot of Outlaw Star, all that stuff in there. General bleak sci-fi, a little bit of Warhammer 40k, grim darkness. And also he's a coyote because I've never played a coyote before and I wanted to. But much like Cypher, when creating Ryder, I went to the group and went, "Are there any upright canine races in Starfinder?" And I was probably told no. So we based Radar on a human, and then like I think 2 sessions in, Starfinder released what was it? Not the Brinari, the
doggy race.
Yeah, like the canine dog race.
The Vlaka? The Valaka? I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I think that's right. The Valaka.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But we just skip around it because Radar's half metal anyway. So
Yeah.
we can give what stats we want.
And I like cyborgs, so of course I made him a cyborg.
Yeah.
And then from there it was a case of it was working in reverse and writing the backstory.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
But yeah, that leads very nicely into our next question. Why is Ryder a Yosoki when she looks like a Brinari? Okay. So basically, the Brinari did not exist when I created Ryder. And I thought I still want to have an otter character in here because the Yosoki have this cadence to them where they talk really quickly and speedily, and they're very hyper and energized the whole time. And I thought it doesn't really fit with the kind of character I want to be. I want to be someone who's quite disenfranchised, scarred mentally, but can also be quite quippy sometimes. Ryder's got a very naive sense of humor about her sometimes. So I thought, okay, I'll make this character a Yosoki and say that in our universe, in our canon, the Yosoki can be any small mammal essentially. So you can have otters, pine martens. I think Ryder's friends are all pretty much Yusokis. They're just different
Flavors.
flavors of Yusoki.
Subspecies.
Yeah, subspecies.
I think that's a better way of doing it. The Brunari just seem a little bit cutesy cuddly in,
And also the Brunari stats are trash.
Yeah.
Everything
Absolutely.
is really cute and cuddly because at the end of the day, you can make character whatever you want. But guy's right, the stats are trash.
I think at some point it was retcon that was it Riders half and half.
I still don't know if I want to do that. I think I might just make her parents both Yusoki.
Yeah, we've already had like a fair few amount of times we bumped into other Yusoki and be like, that's a pine marten, that's a weasel or whatever. So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, no one's gonna look. The Brunari police aren't gonna come find us. Okay, in fact, if you're out there,
Next episode, the Brunari, please find us.
If you're out there, you play a Brunari, come find me. I'll fight you.
Here's the thing, though, and that's that just because Piazza release an update or a supplement doesn't mean we have to use it, especially if it starts conflicting with the canons we've set up.
No, obviously. I mean, no one's saying no. We're not like
we're not going to be crowbarring Ryder into being a Brunari. Yeah.
However, if things turn up that are good, like if the Brunari turned up and they literally had Yusoki stats with some stealthy stuff, we probably would have just been like, "Oh, she's a Brunari," and she left it at that.
Yeah.
But they suck, so it doesn't matter.
Next episode, the Brunari Space Empire.
Oh no, it's an entire race of riders, but they're shite.
Squeak.
Right. Cool. Next question.
So yeah, that's why Ryder is a Yusoki and not a Brunari. Question 6. Did you go to the future? I'm sorry, that just sounded like an Anakin question. I'm sorry.
That's my friend Jason, and I know what he means. But
would you care to take this question then?
So he is. Damn, no, because he's talking about something that I told him about Kronos. But again, that will be answered in the in-character recap we post on Patreon that you can check out there. So keep an eye for that. It'll be coming soon, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason.
Sorry, Jason. What's with the giant mech?
Jog on.
Yeah, Radar. What's with the giant mech?
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. What's with the giant mech? This is a Engines of Hatred question.
Everyone swivels to a tie.
Yeah. So the next two questions, I guess, are related. What's with the giant mech? Why wasn't it destroyed? I can't reveal too much because that's stuff we're going to be coming back to. But so basically, it would be spoilers. The giant mech is what Radar did back in the before times. He was a mech pilot. That's something I based him on. It's something I've always been interested in. I love big stompy robots.
But also, it's kind of a talking point between Radar and Ryder because they're both pilots. But Radar pilots big stompy robots, and Ryder pilots small nippy fighter planes and chunky cargo ships like the Like 7.
And somewhere in the middle, we fly Starship.
A race car driver talking to a boy racer.
Yeah,
they're both good at what they do, but they're very different kinds of racers.
I'd say more like a Formula One racer talking to a career truck driver.
Okay.
Yeah, like one of those ice road truckers.
Yeah, exactly. As for why it wasn't destroyed, maybe I messed up the description. What I should have said is that warhead just breaks down everything organic on a molecular level. And so it wouldn't really touch a big stompy robot.
Or anything inside it.
Or anything inside it, because the robot's hermetically sealed. I guess that's my fault. My GM style is basically 3 hours of me panicking, so things occasionally slip through.
We have the polar opposite GM styles. It's amazing.
Yeah. And yet we're all still here.
Yeah. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. But...
Oh, definitely. But yeah, that's the giant robot question. Now, what's the next one? Now that the flavor has been given, they have no
favor.
Favor.
Yeah.
This is a long ass question.
You're supposed to be good at words.
You're the best of us.
Okay, let's break it down to the basic question.
Let's do one word each.
Yeah.
Now.
No.
I think it's now that the Archon's gone. Why haven't the people of Terre become their own thing?
Because they suck and they lack conviction. If V was there, they would have like their freedom, shortly followed by a new Vesk overlord. But
Mostly, also, we just don't know. We didn't go back. We haven't gone back yet. We just don't know what they've been up to.
Yeah. There's a few things I did as a GM, which were the post-credit scenes, which is stuff for the players, but not their characters. So the favor at the end of, well, the very last thing that happens in Engines of Hatred, I guess, is stuff that the player characters don't know, but I gave to the players because, it's a conclusion. It's nice to round things off that way.
It's good for listeners as well.
It doesn't end as much on a sour note, I think, if that happens for us as players. For the characters, it's still a bit somber. But
yeah, Kronos and Engines of Hatred were bleak, just so bleak. Which is, it's fun to experience, but you want a full stop in the end of it, and that's what the post-credit scenes are for.
So that's what happened. We don't know is the answer to everything. We'll find out.
Yeah, that would have been similar to say, wouldn't it? We don't know.
We don't know. We'll find out. Don't worry about it. It's coming.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, did we ever officially promise the Archon? The leader of that place that we tell them when we defeated the Archon?
That's why Ryder wanted to go back and tell the Regent that the Archon wasn't a threat. It's just that we'd kicked the hornet's nest and the Archon's fleet had mobilized, so there was no way back to Terra. So we just
got it in writing.
Oh well. I don't think he cared that much.
And also, since when has V respected things that are in writing?
I don't know. I'll let you know when they learn to read.
There you go. Okay, next question.
That's a joke.
I was gonna say,
if your character's life had gone the way they had imagined when they were growing up, where would they be right now?
What an interesting question, mysterious person.
I wonder who could have asked that.
I'll go first, and I guess Beth would still be. She'd still be a Galactic Idol. She'd still be Tiamat. She loved being famous. She loved being. She loved love, and she loved people. So yeah, she'd have just carried on being Tiamat. I don't think she'd have even thought about traveling the stars and doing adventuring stuff.
Well, she wouldn't be Baphomet at all, would she?
That's true. Baphomet wouldn't exist, I guess.
She'd still be her original celebrity form, which was Tiamat.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Baphomet just simply wouldn't exist. Is the answer?
Wow. Scary. What about you? Ajay? Where would V be?
Who the fuck is AJ?
If USA hadn't fucked them over.
Okay, glossing over the fact you just called me AJ, which I'll remember.
RJ will remember that.
I called you RJ. What the fuck?
I
It
heard
did sound like
AJ.
AJ. Yeah. It sounded like
AJ.
I mean,
anyway, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
Supposed to be the best at words. Okay, so if Yuasa hadn't fucked V over, then they would have probably risen all the way up through the ranks to a very high level. I mean, they were still fairly high level even when the fucking happened, but I'd imagine they'd probably have got to like senior CEO status, potentially head of the company in their mind. And they kept on doing morally dubious weapons development and spaceship research and magic and all of that bullshit. Retired on a massive salary to their own private island and
This sounds like you want this.
Well, who wouldn't want to have a lot of money and their own private island and a cushy job as a CEO of a secret weapons research and development corporation?
Me?
Really? You're missing out. It sounds pretty great.
I don't know.
I mean, sure, you have to compromise your morals and some people might die, but not people you know.
I think that's probably the biggest red flag there, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like I said, V is probably the least scrupulous of the team. Like,
really?
You're not good for V because. So when V worked for Yuasa, they had someone that they riffed off who was like kept them grounded and stopped them from becoming too much of an asshole. And I'd like to think Ryder's taken their surrogate position now that the original person is dead.
It's okay, RJ.
Like that anyway, though, aren't they? They have very, very shallow moral compass in terms of their empire and how things are built.
Yeah, that's the other thing to remember is that V is a Vesk, and Vesk are conquering like part of their purpose is basically they're like Brits circa whatever era it was when Brits went around and colonized everywhere.
The entire time Brits have been around.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So you're
the whole
you're
like
a race of colonizers.
yeah, they are a race of just that looks nice. It's ours now. So
Possessives?
they all have the mentality of well,
Colonialists.
of course, we should have this. We're the best.
Yeah.
Or we can beat anyone in a fight, and therefore we are owed this planet. It's why they get so confused by Skittermanders when they just turn up like, "We're going to fight you and take your planet." And Skittermander's like, "Okay,
All right.
like, what? No, we have to fight you for this planet." It's like, "No, you can just have it."
Just have it. Go
This
on.
also sounds like
And
me as
the
well.
Vesk are just like eyes narrow. Fuck you.
How dare you?
So yeah, so leading back into the question, V probably would have just kept rising up through UASA, more than likely made it up to a CEO's position, and just operated as the CEO of this secret weapons company.
Okay. And Ty, actually, wait, do we do?
We haven't done Cypher yet.
Yeah, let's have a first then.
Okay. Yeah, Ryder probably would have, if she had managed to get her hands on a job in the espionage sector, because that was her initial problem, is that she didn't have any of the contacts that you require to get in a position like that. But if she had, she probably would have risen up through the ranks of whatever corporation she was working for, doing espionage for, very quickly, and become a sort of James Bond style character. Loads of tricks up her sleeve, can disappear like a ghost, can kill without any sort of moral scrupulations whatsoever, but also feeling incredibly guilty that she's become that sort of person and she's been turned into a tool by a corporation, because that's something she probably never will have wanted to be. So she will have got what she wanted, but it would have come at the cost of her guilt.
It's occurred to me that Ryder would have grown up to become the character they send to kill V.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, shit.
We did have that brief conversation about about Mirror World where everything went bad.
Yeah, but also it's I don't know. I think that's another thing that I've put into Ryder. It's sometimes the thing that you think you want, when you get it, can turn into something you really don't want, and that's something I've learned through personal experience just by living.
If I ever become the head of a secret weapons corporation, I'll let you know if it's awesome or not.
Right, cool.
Wouldn't it stop being secret at that point?
Oh, I was killed afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't want to know.
Okay, so if you
Sorry,
become
you're
a
up.
Scorpio overnight. Anyway, what were you saying, Pam?
No, I think it's Ty go.
Oh yeah, go on. Go on.
So, where would they be right now if everything had gone right? They'd have died thousands of
I
years.
knew you were going to say
Yeah,
that.
God.
How am I supposed to respond to that?
They
Well, they have
go
a
back
best
to their
life.
own time and
I'm
say,
going back. I'm going. Just let me finish. My God. So Radar is very much the man out of time, and he got frozen in space for thousands of years. So his natural lifespan would have expired long ago. In that time, he would have been, I guess, the head of a research and development lab specializing in neural implants and mechs. Basically, a lot of his backstory revolves around building mechs and piloting them. So I guess he'd have been at the head of that. He's pretty good at science and computery things. And much like V, I guess he'd have retired with lots of money to his own private island where he could be a fat coyote and eat nothing but roast chicken all day with mashed potato and gravy. So that would have been his life.
He would have had a nice life. Everyone would have had ice cream. The end.
yeah.
Everybody
So-
would have had lemonade. The end.
3 out of 4 of us would have had happy lives.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go on to number 11, which actually you can ask because
I've just seen it.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, are we going to explain this question? Or
No,
you know what?
No context. No context.
Okay, next. Anonymous from Anonymous asks, what's up with Ryder's feet?
So this is a bit of a meme question, but it's a meme that only exists among us four. So basically, Ryder has got sticky feet, meaning she can walk up walls this is it's like a bio augmentation thing that I got a few sessions back. And yeah, it's something I wanted that would allow her to walk up a wall and climb things. So essentially, she can, with a thought, turn her feet into like the surface of like a gecko's foot. So she can just stick to a wall, walk up it, and it's in the palms of her hands as well. And also, she has mag boots in her spacesuit, so she can stick to walls and surfaces.
I always pictured it like
Ryder is Spider-Man.
Spider-Rot.
Spider-Rot.
yeah. I always imagined them like it was suckers, like
No,
That's gross.
that's gross, and also that would hinder.
oh, she's got weird feet.
Actually, if you look at the official artwork we got recently on the Twitter, it's just her feet. I don't think she wears shoes, right?
No. Well,
Yeah,
she
so
don't-
does Spider-Man.
That would hinder her sticky feet.
So there you go then. So if you're interested in Ryder's feet, you can go and I don't want to do that.
That's not
Well,
the end of this.
Uh,
Here come the poor fetishists.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's move on. Let's move on.
The meme came from Ryder making comments about deer feet on
Buzzards.
Tur. Sorry, buzzard feet.
Buzzard feet, come on.
Yeah, she's never seen it. She's never seen a buzzard, and they have weird, pointy, stabby feet.
They do have weird, pointy, stabby feet. It's like a giant thumbnail.
Yeah.
Right? Very
Yeah,
At
strange.
some point,
Anyway.
we're going to go back to Tur, and V's going to get that
I'm going to get that buzzard.
That is a spiky skull.
Next
rack
question.
shotgun with murderous intent.
Next question.
Did you ever hang on, I got a question. Did we ever get their laser shotgun?
No.
Nope.
No.
Question.
Still waiting for that laser shotgun.
The
Awesome.
next question. Why does Baphomet only sometimes wear clothes?
Okay, so Baphomet is an android. Her current body is a shell. This isn't her original body, as we've mentioned before. So she is always experiencing a kind of detachedness from it. But originally, she just didn't wear clothes because it's like, well, why bother? But as she became more used to being in this form, she started wanting to, like, she started to enjoy her old, like, creature comforts, like buying and wearing a lot of clothes. She does wear clothes, but she sees them almost entirely as accessories, which is why I think hydrophobia, she spends almost the whole adventure in a bikini with a hat.
In a bikini or sun hat, yeah.
Yeah.
With like a little fancy plastic beauty mirror that she keeps handing to Radar as well.
Yeah, I think I'll keep it because Syntac gave it to her.
Yep.
But yeah, she does wear clothes occasionally. As we went on, it came most of the time. I started thinking maybe I should have her wear clothes as a general going thing. And now her default outfit is a red dress. So yeah, she doesn't wear clothes when she doesn't wear clothes because she doesn't feel she needs to, but she just kind of starts to like it.
Yeah. Well, she kind of uses them to augment her personality a bit more as well.
Yeah, very much so. Also, I should mention that like her body is it's a ceramic metal polymer, so there's nothing there. It's entire. It's like a Barbie doll.
Does
So
she have joints on her like elbows and knees?
Yeah,
Or is that
Yeah.
you'll see that she's got like gold points on her body, which are basically joint points and twist points and such. Again, like a doll.
very doll-like. Yeah.
Her general shell is a kind of like hard metal ceramic.
How would you describe Bath's body style? And don't say thick.
Damn it!
Short stack.
Yeah, I guess it's short stack. I mean, she's not like huge proportion or anything, but she's short and curvy.
When Bath fell unconscious in Engines of Hatred, I did edit a ceramic plate falling onto a surface because I thought that's how she would sound when she hit the floor.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Dunk.
We've also done some homebrew stuff with Bath as well, where Starfinder androids typically they do have to, I believe, sleep or trance. I think it is. Bath doesn't typically need to, but she does like take time to take a break, and I don't think she has to eat at all. Also, she can breathe in space, but she doesn't have any ability or skills, as again pointed out by her being stuck in space for 1.5 years
In a suitcase.
Yeah,
Literally just vibing.
Yeah, she was going mad, but mostly vibing.
Okay. Last question. In Hydrophobia, it seems like V is much younger than we think. How old are they?
Okay, so V in the current point is 41 years old. But they don't act like it because They stopped giving a shit about acting like an adult most of the time.
So,
And
sorry, RJ, just quickly, is that 41 in our years? What's that to a Vesk? Is that still like...
it's still early middle age for a Vesk.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're the oldest of the crew and the least likely to act like it.
Yeah.
There's still gone the full cycle of...
So people think she's older than she is, but she's only like 27, I think I wrote her out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Radar's technically several thousand years old.
Yeah.
What's his biological age?
About 33.
Yep. Years in stasis don't count.
Ryder's in her mid-20s at this point, I reckon.
Ryder's the baby of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still got that kind of naive teenager mentality where you're just starting to realize, hey, maybe I'm not invincible.
Yeah, I get that.
You mean the age where the bits start falling off of you and you're sat there and wondering why?
No, that's your 30s. I'm
Yeah.
experiencing that as a human at the moment. And that's all of the questions I've got here. Are there any more?
I think that's it. I think that's all our questions.
We've answered all the essentials.
Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
If you've got any more, send them to Twitter. We're at Cosmopunks with an S. And yeah, we've got a Patreon now, as I'm sure you're aware, because you're listening to us through it.
Well, this will be going out. So patrons will get this first, but this will be going out to the general feed in a couple of weeks afterwards, I guess, something.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, if you want
to
and you want to get all that good stuff, as well as a bunch of art that we put up on Patreon early as well that we do, check it out on patreon.com/cosmopunk.
Yeah.
All right.
Whose job is it to edit this into something coherent?
It's probably mine.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Probably. I ain't doing it.
Wag.
Stop fucking around after we just said I'm gonna have to edit.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Don't you dare.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
All right. Ciao,
And
everyone.
now, a word from our
Ciao, everyone.
sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
No, man. Hang on, I thought this week was NordVPN.
Oh no, this week's Squarespace.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Squarespace.
All right, if you like mattresses, you can. Who does the mattress ones? I don't remember now.
There's a mattress one.
Bunch
Okay. Anyway, bye.
Anyway, yeah, seriously, bye. We're done.
See ya.
Good night.
Bye, HelloFresh.